was Foreign Minister of Thailand from 2008 to 2011. We saw him in Daniel's report just a short while ago. Thank you so much for being with us here on BBC News. What is your reaction to this coup?
Well, I think I remain calm personally. I believe the military would be able to control the situation, namely to have peace and stability, and second, to proceed with what they have just promised, namely to start the reform process, the political and socio-economic reform.
Why do you think at the start of the week we had martial law, a decision not to actually have a fully fledged coup d'etat, but then the military changing their mind just a couple of days later?
Well, I think because they have been inviting all the major players of the Thai political scene, civil society, private sector, political parties, the opposing people's movement, the red shirts and the opposing forces to a negotiating table the last three or 4 days, but they could not arrive at a compromise solution. So maybe, and then at the same time, the likelihood of more violence on the street and so on. So the military has finally decided to intervene and to set the democratic table of Thailand.
Well, you say that, but I mean, how are you going to get some sort of democratic solution with those various parties coming together and finding a way forward? As you say, they have failed so far in recent months. They are hardly at the barrel of a gun likely to do it, are they?
Yeah, but I think the reform would go to the root causes of the failures of democracies in Thailand. I think it has to do with the electoral system to make it more fair, accountable. And that's one point. Second, I think the role of the political parties, there have to be more scrutiny that it is the money politics that overwhelm the political process. Third, the reform on the decentralization of Thailand, because power is too much concentrated in the hands of the central government. So empowerment and decentralization would ensure a more democratic viability of the Thai society into the future. On top of, I think, an increasing political awareness and citizenship and ownership among the Thai people, I think we have a populace that is more politically aware. Well, some sort of institutional reform and legal reform would help the democratization process.
Just a final thought, because we were reading out the concern from the Foreign Office here, the statement that has been issued. The UN has also issued in the last few minutes a similar worded statement of concern. What sort of time frame should the international community expect of the military being in charge in Thailand?
I think the reform process should take about 6 months to 2 or 3 months. And I think a lot of ideas of how to reform Thailand, I think, has been on the table for quite a long time by universities, professors, by civil society groups, by political parties. So it's a question of, I think, putting them on a one draft paper, and that could be tabled for referendum. So it would not take too long. Ideas have already been there, written ideas also about the reform process.
Well, Kasit Piromia, thank you very much for taking time to speak to us. Thank you.
Unacceptable, outrageous and dishonourable. That is how the Russian Foreign Minister